Celebrating your baby's birthday becomes a very special event for you. It is a date loaded with meaning that you are not going to miss, and of course, I hope you enjoy the moment. I am Alberto Vanegas, better known here as the clown Toquito, and I want to invite you today to subscribe to my channel because this is your party channel. Your baby's first 12 months have made enormous progress. He already feels alone. He has started his complementary feeding. Are you about to take your first steps? I'm coming. Maybe he's already walking, he said. His first words may be your baby's longest year. Well, we parents really feel that way, and this may be the year they have more photos than any other. To begin with, you have to be very honest. Your baby's first birthday is really for dads celebrating their first year in this wonderful role. On the other hand, your baby is still too young to understand so many things that are going to happen. That is why it is possible that that day you feel overwhelmed with so many people, or you may also remain asleep during part of the celebration. What do I recommend to my clients? Let the child sleep first. This way, when party time comes, you can be more active and will be more entertained. In this video, I want to give you some recommendations that help you take into account every detail so that you enjoy yourself to the fullest. Your baby's first birthday. The guests. Well, who do we think of first? Grandparents, uncles, cousins. If you decide to do something a little more open to the public, you can invite close friends, you can be a partner from the social circle, and what do I recommend? I hope they have little kids. You can send the invitation via WhatsApp, Facebook, and if you want to know how we can make an invitation card, I am going to recommend this video that I am going to leave here. And there I will teach you how to make it and deliver it digitally. The place. Perhaps the best place for the baby on his first birthday is your own home. It is a family environment and where you will feel very safe. Of course, if you want to do it somewhere else, make sure it's safe for little guests. Avoid, for example, having stairs, swimming pools, and other scenarios that put the safety and comfort of attendees at risk. You can choose a community social room, a theme park, or a restaurant that has age-appropriate children's games. The investment, the expense will depend on the number of guests and the type of food you want to serve. If you are planning a themed party, you will have to think, for example, about the piñata, the decoration, the cake, and decide if you are going to buy it ready-made or you are going to make it on your own. In fact, there are many tutorials on the internet that can help you with original ideas. Remember that it is not necessary to spend more than your budget allows at your baby's age. Is a small celebration enough an hour? If what you want is for your little one to be active during the party, choose those hours where they are normally awake. It can be before, it can be after the afternoon nap, but if you want to have guests, I will. I invite you to choose 1 hour that is comfortable for everyone. Your baby's outfit. Choose 2 pints. The ideal. The first is for photos and the start of the party, and the other is more comfortable to use when you already notice that your baby is already a little tired. Food, pizza, and hot dogs are a great option. If your guests are too big for your child, you can have something simple. For example, the tete for when you get hungry. The beverages may be, for example, natural juices or smoothies. If the children are small, keep in mind that they eat very little, so it is better to think about variety and not quantity. Replace sweets, that is sweets, with nutritious foods, for example, such as fruit compote, natural juices, and protein. Think of your baby like this. So what food might be best for your party? Recreation. If you are going to include recreational activities for your little guests, do not forget that these must be varied and not last more than 10 minutes, since at this age they are easily distracted. The most recommended 1-2 years are those involving, for example, movement and displacement. It can be, for example, crawling races, where they reach some goal, throwing balls into a basket. Or, for example, games where there are snappable pieces. Likewise, it is important that you motivate parents to get involved in all activities and to accompany the children's efforts. With what? With applause, with positive phrases that encourage and motivate them. If there are prizes at this age, I recommend that everyone wins. From my experience, I'm going to tell you what you should do if the invited children are small, like your baby. Keep in mind that they need variety and especially many visual things. For example, children's songs, puppets, musicals. They can be a very nice option, but they must be varied and short, as well as very important, the company to parents and to participate in all activities. If there are no dads, then for example, grandparents, nannies. But I recommend that at this age, you don't leave them alone. If the children are now big, as far as I know, from 3 years old and up, I recommend having an artistic activity, directed recreation, inflatable dances, well, inflatables if you want, and if there is a place to put them. But don't forget that the party is for your baby. That is, moments must be defined where he is the protagonist and he can enjoy the party. Immortalize the good moment. Your baby is never going to remember this party. She's never going to remember her first year party. Therefore, make sure to capture as much information as you can. For example, photos, videos. It can be with your cell phone or hiring someone to do it. But keep something in mind someday. Someday, when that baby is older, maybe teenager, and everyone sits down to watch the first year party. I assure you that the most beautiful images, the most commented on, the ones that cause that tenderness and that laughter, are also the spontaneous ones. Which ones? For example, the baby eating his first cake got his whole face together, or playing with his cousin who was the same age, or opening his first little gift. As many as you can. Really, I'm not asking you to abandon your guests at that moment, but try not to miss these unique moments. You'll remember me, and now comes the big pre-clown or no clown. Well, I tell you that as a Toquito, I have been to many parties where the birthday boy is in his first year, and on many occasions his guests are no more than 2 years old. And I tell you that I always do it as a clown. And how do you do that? Toquito, what's the secret really? I have several important points to ensure the success of the view, and the first is that the music is 100% children's. And with an appropriate volume, the second must the tone of voice, it must be age appropriate. And the third, look, I'm not the protagonist. Who's the protagonist? The birthday boy? And I try to make the attendees, adults, children, understand that I invite you to participate and enjoy the activities. And fourth, I don't start wearing makeup. I mean, what do I do? My first approach I do as Alberto, I go to the honored person, I go to the guests as a friend, and I show them in a playful way talking about colors, singing children's songs. I gather them, I tell them that I'm going to change from Alberto to Toquito. Look, I show you this photo where I tell the children, well, what does Toquito have that Alberto doesn't have? So we started comparing that round nose, that makeup, that wig. Anyway, we talk. And between point and point, they find that similarity. And I can put on makeup in front of them. I use those cute shades too. Those striking tones as preschool teachers use, because you have to take age into account, and I tell my clients, if the reaction is unfavorable, I throw the party like Alberto and not like Toquito, that is not like the clown, but I tell you that I have never had to reach that point. I would like to know your opinion, or if you have any points you would like me to talk more about. Write it down. Here, make me a comment. They know all the questions and answers that help all of us who go through this video grow more about parties, especially this one in the first year. If you like this video, I invite you to subscribe. And also remember, you have to ring this bell so that you can be part of this beautiful holiday community. I am going to leave you two videos, this first and then this, where I talk about other important points that you should take into account when hosting your party. A hug, see you next time. Alberto Vanegas says goodbye, Toquito, bye.